All right, good morning everyone. Hopefully you guys are having a great time. Yeah, hopefully you guys are having a great time. So it's done here as usual. Thanks Code Traders App. Yeah. So those who were with us yesterday and made money, congrats from all the signals that from the analysis that we had in the morning, and clearly we are now back here to look at what we're going to be handling today. So without further ado, let's now get into prayer as usual and start today's session. Father, we thank you for this morning. Thank you for the beautiful morning. Thank you that we are back here on this very market where we'll be looking at signals, trade signals, and be able to get entries and exits so that we can be able to make the money today. Thank you for those opportunities that you're giving us today. Thank you for yesterday's profits. Those who made losses, I know you're going to give us a way to recover them. Those who made profits, we say thank you. And as we get started today, we ask of your knowledge and wisdom to guide us through. In Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. Right. Just a minute. All right, so now let's get into it. As usual, we start with crash 500. As usual, we start with crash 500. So let's check what is up with crash 500. So yesterday, man, look at that, it actually came to our TP point. Yeah, I think we are well good to go here. So those who followed up the analysis, clearly you knew we are going to come around here. So if you missed yesterday's analysis, you need to go back and check it out if you still want to understand how we analyze this to conclude that it is coming all the way here. So yeah, we took, now this is a weird thing, it first consolidated here for some good time. So let me show you. Even though it was consolidating, we took some trades here. Let me show it to you. So the very first entry was here on this signals group. I told you we should make another entry, so we entered again and we took our profits right where, I think right about here. Yeah, right about here. I remember telling you guys to take your profits. Yeah, right about here. I had some other entries so that I had already put to break even, so they came and were taken out on break even. But then I made another entry when it returned immediately, so that was the sniper entry again. This one I didn't share it with the guys on the VIP signal because this was now mine to recover some of this, because the one here was taken out on SL in profits, so it was not much. So I entered again, took my profits right there, and then it consolidated a bit, it broke out again, went back. So it was a mess. But early, I think during the night, that's when it went back there, and you guys can see what it ended up doing all the way to the TP level. Those who remember where we had put the TP level, you can attest to that. All those who attended yesterday's analysis and remember how we analyzed it, you can attest to that. So now we can easily delete all this. It's no longer of any benefit to us. It has served us well. So right about now, when we go back to H1, actually start from weekly, this is just going to be a retest, but we need price to get all the way up there. That is according to daily and according to weekly. So having seen that on daily, go to H4. Let's look at H4. H4 we are selling. Daily we are looking for a retest and then continue buying. So that's why it is going as planned according to H4. So we are still selling a bit according to H4. According to daily, according to H1, we somehow need to look at buys, but the buys are not yet confirmed. They are not yet confirmed according to M15 and H1. So all we need now is a confirmation of the buys. And how are we going to confirm that? Just going to go to M15 and wait for this pullback. Actually, not even that pullback. We're going to wait for price to react back to that fair value gap. Yeah, so just a pullback here, and then we come in with our buys. Yeah. So for now, this is a no-go for me at all. And mostly the way we normally enter is always If you don't enter sniper entry right here, we can always wait for the breakout right there and do the same thing, wait for the retest. Yeah, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. This candle hasn't closed yet. I'm just using it for the purposes of showing you how we do that, but it may continue up, it may stop from where it is. So if it does that and does the retest, then the better. That means this will become a point where we will anticipate our change of character right there. But until then, we are still in a sell trend. We are still selling. We are still in a sell trend. Why? Because we have lower lows, we have breakout structures right there. So we are still in a sell trend. All right. So until we see a change of character like that, we don't have any. We can't clearly tell ourselves that we are in a buy trend or in an uptrend. So for now, it's a no-go. That is crash 500 for us there. Let's now head over to Boom 1000 and we look at what happened yesterday. Oh yes, by the way, Boom 1000 I didn't want you guys to overtrade, but yeah, I was following it up and actually made money on it. Yeah, but my entry was I didn't want to give you guys a risk that you can't afford to have at the moment. So that is Boom 1000 there. Let me show it to you what I was waiting for. So I was going to give it to you if it made this retest. If it made that retest. It only made a retest on M5, which was not really something that I was looking for. This is a retest on M5 that it made, but I needed a retest on M15, and this retest may actually happen today. Yeah, this retest may happen today. So for now, let's wait. But my entry was here. Of course, it first took me out at first. This is where I had first entered, took me out. Then when it finished grabbing liquidity, I made my entry right about there, and it played along there. I knew it was going to continue and of course break that level, so it played around there, and then boom, we went into profits. Hit my TP just like I had planned right there. That was my first TP on that order block. I think it is an order block, or what is it? It's a fair value gap, yes, on that fair value gap all the way from there. And actually it is the same, even right here is actually the same, or fair value gap right there. And after hitting it right there, it started to consolidate a bit more. So that's how we were to trade that yesterday, but we did get an entry that I normally wait for when I'm giving you signals. So we had to, I couldn't give you that right there. That is the risk that I could afford, because that's where the stop loss was right there, and I made my entry right there. So that's why I did share this signal of Boom 1000. So now this is now it's now, we can delete it for now. I want to see if it has enough momentum to continue selling. So let's first go to weekly. Weekly we want sales. Daily we are looking for sales. H4 we are looking for sales. H1 yeah, sales. Okay, right, so this that we needed, it didn't actually reach that level, so we can now delete that. But we know that this is coming all the way here. That's what we needed. That's where we need it. That's where we need this asset to come back to. Yeah, right about there. So delete this, first clear the chart a bit. Alright, so I think we are good right there. That one can stay for now. This I can now remove it. Also, I have an order block right here, so valid order block right there. I'll go to H1. Let's look at the current structure. Let's look at the current structure. Alright, so this is the case right here. This is going to continue. This is in the shape of like a pennant. Yeah, it's trying to give us characters of a pennant, so we know that it is going to end up continuing the previous trend. So let me first delete this. I don't need it now, so it's gonna do that. But let me first go to H1C. Was the liquidity taken out? Was that liquidity taken out? Let's look at that. So apparently it went there to test, so it went to premium and tested on that fair value gap. So that fair value gap was tested right about there. So now that we know that, yeah, that is enough. That liquidity is enough. That liquidity grab is enough to pull back price right here. So now that we know that, I want to see right here is what is price looking for above there. Okay, so it's coming back to that order block. Has it touched it? Not yet. So it may come back to that OB right there, and then come into sales, and then come into sales. So for now, I can't enter this asset. I need to get enough. I need to see something like this, either there or back to that level as a fake breakout. So as a fake breakout, we need to see something like that, something like that. Something like that. So something like that. That's what we're going to see right about here. So until I see something in this kind of move, I'm not entering this asset at all. But this, I'm not saying that we can't see a breakout right here. Yeah, in fact, let me go to M5. Oh, not yet, not really. According to M5, we have to see that pullback to this level. Yeah. According to M5. So for now, I'm not going to do anything. Even this is not really a thing that I can come through to anticipate. So for now, let me wait for this pullback at least to this order block. Then I can come in with my sales. Yeah, that's for sure. That's what I'm gonna wait for. That's what I'm going to wait for before I can enter sales to take me down to this H1 order block. Alright, This is boom 1,000, so it's likely to give us money today, as long as we get a better entry, and as long as we are not off with the analysis. Okay, boom 500. Now we are talking about boom 500. Oh, good morning, guys. Good morning, Faith, and the rest of you guys that are online currently. Hopefully you guys are having a good time wherever you are. All right, so boom 500 is what we are talking about currently. So yesterday's analysis, those who remember it clearly, we wanted price to make a pullback either there or here. So because we had seen it break out there, we of course anticipated a pullback either back to that order block or to this order block. So according to that, we actually saw price coming to this one right here, this order block right there. This is where 50% is. This is where 50% is right there. So it came to that order block between the 50 and 38.2. So that's where price reacted back to. Most of the times it reacts from there. So after that, price started to sell again. But those who remember, I told you that we were going to buy this asset, and before we even closed yesterday's analysis session, we had made entries. So these are the entries right here. So I made entries when it came back to that, but it went all the way down below to grab liquidity. Just below that, was it an order block? Yeah, it was an order block. Just below that order block, price went all the way to grab liquidity just here. But it later went back into profits, and that's how we made money. Hit the TP level right there. The other one was all the way there, but as we saw that kind of move, we closed because that was enough. We couldn't hold on because that was enough. It had already come into the premium, and we normally sell from the premium. That's what we did right about there. So enough of that. I didn't enter sales here, but that was supposed to be our sell entry again to bring us all the way down below, having given us that kind of retest. Yeah, right there. So it went all the way, came with enough momentum to break out from that order block, and that's how the sell turned around. So now we can delete all that. This move, those who remember, I gave you this move right there or there, and then come down, and then we get into buys. And currently, those who can see what is happening, the buy has started. The buy has started. Why? We have a double bottom right on that order block. Right on that order block. I want to remind you that H4 has been in a buy. That's why we are looking for the buy right here. Another reminder is daily has been looking for buys. That is also another reminder. Weekly we've been selling, but now we've reached the retracement level, so that's why the buys are evident. So having said all that, now the buy is on. If you are on H4 and you're skeptical about the buy, you can wait for a change of character right about there. But if you go to M15, you already have a change of character. The first one happened here, then came down, then we have seen another one right just now, right about now, right there. So all you can do is wait for M15 to confirm, and you enter, or you wait for the change of character on H1. But if you have a big account, you can choose to enter now and put your stop loss right down below here. Then you know that you'll be trading according to H1. Even though we are seeing that CCI is giving us a different kind of signal that we should continue selling, it's only giving us that because we haven't seen a change of character, and this somehow, this was not a support level, it was an order block, so it's not giving us oversold because of that. So I can delete this. First go to left, do this, right, it's not doing what I want. Go to H4, do that. Wow, this is what I know. So we are currently looking for sales. Besides us seeing what we are seeing on CCI, the momentum according to price action is of sales, just because of where we are. But we can only confirm that if we get a change of character. If we get one on M15, the better. If we get one on H1, even it will be the best thing to look at. So for now, we are going to anticipate a change of character. We have already seen the breakout there, meaning change of character right here. So all we want is a pullback, and then we make an entry. All we want is a pullback, and then we make an entry for our buy trades. So now I leave this where it is, and I wait for something like that to make my move. Volatility 25S, Vol 25 1S. Now this one had low momentum. This asset had low momentum, but we made entries right here. This was how we wanted to trade it. Do that and return. So it did that, returned here, we made entries, but it kept playing around here, took some profits here, then took some SLs and profits right here. I made another entry. So this is what I'm talking about. You may not see it. So I had entries here, I had entries here, then these ones were taken out here. There are some stop losses that were in profits that were taken out here, and then I made another entry, took my profits right there, and of course I had my SL, I had dragged my SL right there, took my profits right there. I made another entry, came and took my SL immediately when it made this, took my SL again, and then went all the way up. So it was a mess. It was sketchy yesterday. Didn't have enough momentum to continue with the buy. It was a bit. It had more of a consolidation. It had more consolidation moments than moves that we actually needed. So this is what I'm looking at. According to H4, we're supposed to be looking for sales, but we wanted price to first react back to that as it grabs liquidity all the way from that fair value gap. It's the only point of interest that we can see there. This one right here, oh, this one reacted to the previous fair value gap. Is it even a fair value gap, or it's an order block? It's an order block right there. Yeah, it reacted to that order block, then it came all the way back into sales. But H1 is still showing us momentum to buy it. Still showing us momentum to buy it. Remember, here we have a fair value gap according to H4. Let's go to M15, try to understand what is happening. So it is retesting, but it didn't give us any change of character when it was giving us this downtrend move. So that means that was an internal kind of structure that happened. This is where we had a change of character right here, but on it coming back to start selling, we never had a clear change of character, but we saw that kind of break of structure. So apparently we are currently seeing a change of character right about there. We are seeing some sort of change of character. So if that's the case, then we know that we are getting back into buys. Price, according to H1, price has reacted back to that order block, which is a valid order block. It's now becoming a support. I can delete now this and maintain this. It's now becoming a support. Why? It reacted on it here and now here. Those are 2 times. So price is now moving all the way into that direction. So I can delete this for now. Something else that is missing that I need to see. Something else is missing. Something is not adding up. Something is not adding up right here. Something is not adding up right there. That tells us clearly that price would want to actually continue selling. Yeah. This tells us that price is looking at continuing with the sales. Yeah, that is very clear there, that we are going to continue with the sales. We are not going to look at any buys, just like what H1 was actually showing to us, but we are going to rather continue with sales. This, according to H1, this would have been like a retest candle after breakout, oh, we've started another candle on H1, so we may have our sales that we need, but is it enough for us to start selling from there? It's not a point of interest that I would actually look at selling from, so I'm not going to risk anything. I'll just leave it. I'm not going to sell from here. This is no point of interest for me to look at selling. Something like that is where I want to see my sales coming from. So no, it's a no-go for me. I will check it out later Not now. I'm not risking currently. I'm not going to risk anything right there. All right, so that is volatility 25s. Let's now head to V75. V75. All right. This, the whole of yesterday, it was consolidating. So even now, I don't see why we should waste time on this. We wanted price to react back here so that we can enter our buys to take us all the way up. But up to now, it is in that kind of consolidation. You can clearly see this right here. See that and see that. So something like that, I don't normally engage myself in it. Let's look at daily. H4. There has to be a pullback before we get into buys. Clearly, yeah. So H1, we need that pullback. M15. Yeah, it's not even oversold properly, so that's why it needs to come down below here. We have two levels, but this one and that one, that's where we want to make that entry. So until then, this is no go for me. This I'm not buying any signals that it is giving me currently. Maybe let me see on M15 if the structure is now making sense. See. Low high. It's not doing anything that's making sense to me right here. It's not making any sense. I just want to leave it there. Delete that. Yeah, that clearly tells us the price is coming all the way up there. Then it can come down below. So for now, I just leave it. I will just leave this asset. We are going to buy it according to what we are seeing. But no, me, I'm not buying anything. It is giving me currently until it makes this kind of retest. For now, it's a no-go still. I'm not going to risk, to waste my time there. Just delete even that. Yeah, we'll leave it at that level. Jump 50. Let's look at jump 50. Let's look for those that are moving. The ones which are still consolidating, we'll find. Even this was not moving clearly the way we wanted. Look at the momentum. This is the low, that is a high yesterday. This is the low and the high. So clearly price kept playing within here. Within this was like the range, the high and the low of yesterday. You can clearly see that the momentum was low for this asset. This is M15. If it was H1, you would say maybe, but it is M15. So that's why we didn't get any signals at all. Of course, if we are to scalp, we could have gotten, but it is not always advisable to force trades, even if it is scalping. You need to scalp with knowledge. You need to scalp with knowledge. So if this is the case right there, so let me first start from weekly. What are we looking at? We're looking at selling. According to weekly, we are currently overbought. Yep. According to daily, we are retesting. We need to come in with sales. According to daily, we retested all the way from here. Looking at CCI, that was the retest point level to later on bring us into sales. According to H4, we are overbought. We need to look at sales. So this would be where we'll see a change of character right there on a certain level like that. So according to H1, on the other hand, we actually, it is trying to show us that we started selling, but yesterday price went a bit up again, and clearly you can see you have a break of structure right there. According to H1, right there you have a break of structure. Having seen that, M15 is now overbought, so this is why this asset is tricky, and that's why I'm not trading it. So until I see price come back again and give us a change of character, probably on M50, if we see any change of character on M15, we will not even hesitate to make the sales, because all these other time frames are showing us, are signaling sells. So there's not going to be anything that will hold us to sell it as long as we see a change of character. I will wait for one on M15, and that's how I'll be able to make an entry of the sales that we've been waiting for so long. H1, H4, daily, weekly, all of them, they are clearly showing us that we need to sell this asset. So for now, go back to M15, wait for change of character. Jump 25. Right, so jump 25, go back to day, weekly. We're looking for sales. We are looking for sales, and clearly according to daily, we've started already selling, but we haven't seen any change of character right here yet. We saw it here, actually, yes, we saw it here, breakout, so that was a retest. So actually we should be looking for sales, long-term sales. So according to H4, we grabbed liquidity from that order block. It was a fair value gap on daily. Oh wait, what was it? Oh yeah, the fair value gap right here. I joined those two so I can get one level. So it was liquidity grab from there, then we started to sell, broke out of that, retested and started to sell strongly. So clearly all these are no longer necessary. So go back to H1. After breakout, we retested right there, and now we can see sales coming. Now the only challenge I'm having here is that CCI is trying to show us something, but like I've always told you, CCI is only to confirm our entries, not to give us a signal. So now that I see something like this, it is a breakout right there. All I need is a pullback to around that level. So I've started to look for lower lows and lower highs. That's what I'll be looking for. So until then, I'm gonna look for a pullback here, and clearly right where we are, you can see that the momentum has reduced. You can see that the momentum has reduced. So I'm just gonna look for when the candle stops on the buys, the buy momentum comes in, then I'll be waiting for when price pulls back around such an area. There's a fair value gap right there. So that's how I'm gonna trade this asset. That's how I'm gonna enter it. So simply I'll wait for that and continue with the sales, and I'll continue with the sales, and I will continue with the sales. So without any even wasting of time, now this becomes weird. H4 is looking for something like this according to CCI. H1, I need to look for that kind of buy. M15, I'm looking for the buy. Okay, so that makes sense. So that we close up that gap and then come in with a sell, just like we did it on daily. Alright, so how am I going to do this? I want to know where H4 is trying to, what H4 is trying to cover up. There's a fair value gap, small short fair value gap. There is that order block. Probably it's coming back to that order block. Yeah, so according to what we see, price is coming back right there. So whatever buy we get into, it's taking us right there. But until then, this sell is coming where? Let's look at where this sell is coming. So the block H4, another fair value gap right there. Is it valid? Is it valid? Should be. Let's do this. Okay, maybe valid, maybe valid. So for now, this is a no-go. This is a no-go. So no-go. Yeah, unless if it gives me something like that, so that I continue to sell it. So something like that, or up right here, or right there. That is likely to come now that it is continuing to sell. So until then, this I'm skeptical to enter any. H1 and M15 are oversold. whereas on H4 I'm retesting, then later on to continue with a buy trend. That's why this is very skeptical. According to daily, we had a change of character, so we are looking at continuing with sales. So that's why this whole thing is very weird. Weekly is overbought. Now we should be looking for sales. So that's why I'm saying whatever that happens here, I have to just be patient and wait for a clean, precise entry that I know I'm not making a rush decision. So for now, it's a no-go. I'm not entering this. It's likely to come all the way here, and then we enter ourselves, or it makes this retest, then comes with a sell, then we make that entry for the buy. Either way, we are likely to make our buy entries right here. Alright, now that I've said that, let me now go to our last asset, which is jump 10. Jump 10. So daily, weekly. So we're going to see a retest before we can see a sell. That's what we're looking for. We want this kind of retest, either there or right about there, but it is long overdue to reach all the way up there. So go to daily. What are we having? We are having an ascending triangle according to daily. What does that mean? That means buys. That means entry for buys, since it is on a support level. So we'll be looking for that, just like I showed us. So clearly this is coming here, and then later on we will enter buys. So it is giving us a fake breakout right there. This is going to give, we are going to make money on this asset today without fail. So all I can say, we have to focus on this asset. Let's go to day H1. H1 is oversold. So it is clearly about to give us entries to make that buy trade. So we can now delete all this, delete all that, and have it clean. Now we needed that yesterday, and it happened late. I didn't make that entry at all, but that was the move that we were looking for. So now I'm seeing this. Is it the order block is trying to look for? Probably, or not. We will see. Oh, it's coming right to this trend line. Yeah, it's likely to come all the way to that trend line, but let's wait. So go to M15, still same thing. So I will not enter this until I start to see the buy momentum come around. But you have to remember that we are going to make money on this asset, and clearly we will probably have our TP level right around that area there. So that's it for today. Let's do the recap, and we call it a day. Alright, so crash 500. Price has reacted back to where we wanted it. So why do I have to wait? Immediately make my buy entries, put my stop loss just below right here, and that's it. Please and please don't hesitate to make this entry. Don't please, and make sure your stop loss is a bit off the what. Sometimes it comes and makes a what, sometimes it comes and makes a liquidity grab. So you need to know that whatever you're losing, whatever you're risking is actually you can afford to lose it currently, or you wait when the buy momentum starts. You can choose to wait for when the buy momentum starts. So as I can see here, it didn't touch properly, so it's likely to give us another spike just to reach in a bit. Yeah, to reach in a bit. Most of the times it normally does what? Come around half 50% of that fair value gap. So if it does that, then you can wait for that. Yeah, so most of the times I have my two entries, one there immediately on the line, I missed that, but another one between half of that fair value gap. So that's what I'll be looking for to have my other entry right there. My stop loss is gonna be there. My TP, of course, you know it, right there. That's where I'll be taking my profits. That is crash 500. It's going to come. It's gonna spike again and activate this limit order, and then we come in with the buys. I followed the plan I made. I have not reviewed it again, but I think it hasn't changed yet, so that's why I'm actually still considering that same plan. Yeah. All right, boom, 1,000. We wanted a pullback to enter sales. That pullback wasn't enough for me, so it has not done what I wanted. So still, I'm not going to enter it. Yeah, probably if it gives me a retest, then I can enter it after the breakout. But until then, please, I'm not making that mistake. Remember, you'll be selling. So with boom 1,000, if you're caught off guard, it can spike. You look at this spike from here to there. Imagine if it finds your stop loss just about here, just about there, you are doomed. So please don't make rash decisions when you have no basis of that decision. So I'm not making any mistake right here. Boom 500. The retest is coming after the change of character right there, so wait for it. That's something we needed for now. Let's see if it's gonna play out. Yeah, it's gonna go all the way back to this order block, this candlestick, this one right here, or return from here. So be patient. V25S, we needed to go there and then we enter sales. Yeah, that's what we need. V75, that kind of move is what we are looking for, but I'm not entering the buy. Yeah. Jump 50, this is a no-go. I think this, we said we don't waste our time as of now. Yeah. Jump 25, pull back there, then sell it, then buy it. Yeah, it has started the pullback as if it has started. We will wait and see. Jump 10, we want to buy it, and I think it has started to react from that order block right there. Yeah. And do I have a confirmation? Really? Let me see if I will have a confirmation on M5. Yeah, let's wait and see, but we are likely to make this entry. We are likely, if it goes back inside, without a doubt we will make our entries. So right now I'm waiting to see if it will give us a confirmation on M15 or M5. but M15 probably is one we can wait for. All right, that's it for today. Hopefully you guys had a great time. I don't know how many of you are still online. Okay, I see 6 of you. Hopefully you guys have seen some of these that we are going to have entries. Like one of those, I said it's gonna be this asset. This is jump 10. We are likely to make a lot of money on this asset today. The other one is crash 500. That buy trade to take us back up there. The other asset is likely to be boom 500. Yeah, it's likely to be boom 500. So 3 assets. I normally love to do this. We'll have boom 500, jump 10, and crash 500. Those are the assets that I'm going to focus on today. I think that's it. Otherwise, let me wish you guys a good day. Please remember to when you're trading, to always wait for confirmation. Don't always make rash decisions. Make a plan, follow the plan. If the market goes against the plan, make a new plan, trade that same plan. You have to remember that losses are inevitable in this kind of market, but it doesn't mean that you get reckless and blow up the account. It means you have a risk management in place. How much are you going to risk on each trade? It is very important. You don't have to risk 10% when your target is also 10%. No. Those who I normally teach in my classes, the risk tolerance per trade should be not exceeding 3% of your capital. So if you have 2 trades that have hit your risk tolerance, what are you still doing in the market? Close the market, wait for another day when you are fresh and ready to recover. That is one tip I needed to give you for now. Let me wish you guys a good day. Happy trading. See you tomorrow same time, 10:30. For the signal guys, I'm still with you guys. I will be sharing when these come around. Happy trading day. See you tomorrow guys. you.